Alright, how's everybody doing today? Back again on another video for you guys and gals. And today what I have for everyone is my full review of the Samsung Adaptive Quick Charge 3.0, which is USB Type A to USB Type C, and the Pasonomi Quick Charge 3.0 charger, which is again USB Type A to USB Type C. Then I have a real quick comparison for you guys between the Pasonomi, the Samsung Adaptive Fast Charger, the OEM LG Fast Charger, and the Motorola Turbo Charger that I use for my Moto Xperia Edition. So this may get a little long, but I figured it was probably best to do it all in one instead of breaking it up into two videos. We're just going to bang this all out at once. So, jumping right in. When we talk about the Adaptive Fast Charger and the Pasonomi Quick Charge 3.0 Fast Charger, well, first of all, let's put some baselines on it. Particularly when you talk about chargers, the most important thing, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure some other people may agree with me, is the fast charge rate. Because although we have a bunch of these portable devices, smartphones, tablets, laptops, what have you, they're getting better, but the overall battery life for some of these things, if you're a moderate to heavy user, you will be charging your device at least one time throughout the day. If you're a lighter user, you may be able to make it through the whole day without an issue. And by those standards, I would have to say stick with the stock OEM charger. If you're a lighter user, you're going to get through the day, you'll make it home. Just make sure you throw it on the charger at night, you'll be good to go. But if you're a moderate to heavy user, then in some regards you're going to probably want more than one charger, and you may find, much like myself, that the OEM's included charger may be a little lacking. So in that regard, I had to go out and pick up these two chargers you see here, because if y'all watched my unboxing video, the frustration levels with the stock OEM charger, it was just, I can't even quantify it with words. Okay, so that being said, can I recommend that you pick up the Samsung Adaptive Fast Charger and the Pasonomi Quick Charge 3.0 charger? I would have to say yes. On average, now, certain situations it lands on par with the LG OEM stock charger, but on other situations it averages an overall faster charge. Now I'm going to get into some of those charges when we get into the comparison, but on average, let me just tell you the ones that I didn't take screenshots for, but on average, from 20% to 100%, from 15% to 100%, from 15% to 75%, 15% to 50%, 20% to 50%, and 20% to 75%. The Samsung Adaptive Fast Charger and the Pasonomi charge about 20% to, 20 minutes to 30 minutes faster than the stock LG charger. Okay? But, we're going to get to that one in a minute. So, in that regard, I can easily recommend that you guys go out there and pick up the fast charger or the Pasonomi quick charger over the OEM LG fast charger, because you're going to get a slightly faster rate, which means you'll be plugging in probably at the same rate, but you'll be getting a much faster charging speed overall. Alright? And even if you don't agree with that, in some situations I'm sure we can all agree it's probably good to have more than one charger and one cable. So maybe you want to pick up a few extra chargers. These two are relatively inexpensive. The Adaptive Fast Charger was about $10, and the Pasonomi Quick Charge 3.0 charger was about $13. So they're relatively inexpensive. When you put that into perspective with the stock OEM charger, it's gonna run you about $15. So they're cheaper than the stock OEM charger, and in certain situations, they give you slightly better performance. So hey, even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, and you know it's a good idea to have multiple different chargers with multiple different cables, why not pick these up? So yet another reason why I can recommend that you go out there and grab the adaptive fast charger and the Pasonomi quick charger 3.0. So that pretty much does it for the full review portion of this video. Now let's get into the comparison portion. And so first off, let me tell you what I use. Generally, when I do my battery test for devices or what have you, I usually use the 10% standard, the 15% standard, and the 20% standard. Okay, what does this mean? This means that I charge my devices at least 3 to 4 times at 10% to 100%, 10% to 75%, 10% to 50%. And I do the same thing for 15% to 100%, 15% to 75%, and 15% to 50%. And I do the same thing for 20% to 100%, 20% to 75%, and 20% to 50%. So in general, that's what I do, regardless of what devices that I'm testing. When it comes down to battery life and overall charge times, that's what I use. Okay? So, yeah. Now, in this regard, I want to say I was slightly disappointed by these 3 chargers in comparison with the turbocharger, the Motorola turbocharger, because in the 10% range, which I'm getting ready here to show you guys in a minute, the 3 chargers pretty much charge the same in the 10% to 100 range and the 10% to 75 range. Okay, where I did notice a big difference is when we get into the 10% to 50 range. And again, I noticed the same difference for 15% and 20% using the same back-end stats. So, that, it was about, what was it? About, I'm going to show y'all in a minute. Let me just not even try to guess there what the numbers were. Now, this was a drastic difference in comparison to the same charging stats using the turbocharger here. The turbocharger, in my opinion, just charged dramatically faster than any of the other chargers in this video, and I believe that from the beginning, but now I have the hardcore stats to back it up. And I'm sure some of you guys may be saying, well, the turbocharger is a little old. I'm sure, it degraded a little bit over time, just like the Moto X Pure Edition is a little old. I'm sure it degraded a little bit over time, and yes, it has. They both have. But I was shocked by the performance and the results, even though I'm working with a 2-year-old charger here and an almost 2-year-old phone in the Moto X Pure Edition. I was shocked by the stats and the performance. So let's get into this comparison. So let me open up my device here real quick. And we're going to jump into the browser. And I got it pulled up. Now I took a bunch of screenshots and then I collaged them up. That's one of the nicest things that I like about using the G6. You can make those collages, you can label everything so everything is nice, neat, and organized. So now, on average, using the OEM charger, from 10% to 100, it took just about 2 hours, give or take a few minutes. Okay? From 75% to, from 10% to 75%, it took a little bit over an hour and 6 minutes. And from 10% to 50%, or just over 50%, you can see it took roughly about 55 minutes. Now, for comparison here, the Pasonomi took a little bit over 2 hours, which is roughly the same thing, give or take a few minutes, for 10% to 100. For 10% to 75%, again, it landed almost in the same spot. Just over an hour, hour and 6 minutes, hour and 7 minutes, about the same. But here's where you see a kind of big difference. Okay, well, not so big, but it makes a difference in real world usage. At the 10% to 50% mark, it took about anywhere from about 40 to 45 minutes to hit that 50% mark. Whereas if you go back over to the OEM, it took about 50 minutes, about 50 to 55 minutes. So you're seeing roughly about a 10% difference there, about a 10% difference in time there, but that really does make a difference. And for those of you guys who are wondering, that 10% to 50 mark, that's good enough to give you about an extra 2 to 3 hours of battery life on your devices or screen on time on your devices. So that's a big thing there. That's a real big thing. Now, putting that into perspective, when we talk about the Samsung adaptive fast charger, it was again roughly the same. So you can see here, right there, from 10% to 100, it was a little over 2 hours. Now, granted, I kept nodding off when I was trying to do this test, so you're going to have to minus about 14 minutes for that one. So although that one does say 2.5 hours, no matter how much I tried, I kept nodding off. I typically run these tests late at night, nod off sometimes. But generally, it was around the same 2 hour mark for the 10% to 100. And then you can see 10% to 75%, again, just over an hour mark there. And then right here, you can see 10% to 50%, again, pretty much on par with the other two, about 45 to 50 minutes to hit that 50% mark. So you can see it's better than the original OEM charger, and trust me, it does make a big difference. So it's that, but it's similar in other areas. This is where I was disappointed. So again, it's better in certain areas, but it's similar in other areas. But these stats for all of these chargers pale in comparison when I compared them to the same charging rates using my Moto X Pure Edition and the Turbo Charger. You can see on average, from 10% to 100, it took me roughly about an hour and a half, about an hour and 25 minutes to an hour and a half. From 10% to 75%, it took me on average 42 minutes. Okay? So, let's say I forget to charge my phone at night. I wake up in the morning, I gotta be somewhere in about an hour. I throw this on the charger, I get dressed, come back in about 45 minutes, and I got more than enough juice to go do what I need to do. But still, y'all know the battery life on the Moto X Pure Edition is just abysmal, so I'm still gonna have to grab this charger and take it along with me, or grab one of my power banks and take it along with me. But that overall charging rate is extremely good. So you can see again, from 10% to 75%, about 42 minutes. See, now, you guys may be wondering, okay, it's a big difference there. So now, for 10% to 50%, this one just blew my mind. I had to keep retesting it. It took on average about 25 minutes. And you can see that this is a big difference. It's a big difference in comparison to the 50 minutes for the OEM LG stock charger, or the, man, I keep swiping over too much, or the 45 minutes for the adaptive fast charger, or the 45 minutes for the Pasonomi quick charger. This is a big difference. That's almost 20 minutes faster for the same amount of charge. So this is why I say although these chargers are good, they still pale in comparison to the charging speeds that I'm getting off of the Turbo Charger. Okay, so Qualcomm, Samsung, LG, you guys still want to work on those charging rates. Okay? Motorola, keep doing what you're doing. Well, scratch that. Motorola, bring back these charging rates on some of the newer devices because you're slipping. For your older devices, these charge rates are phenomenal. But for your newer devices, using the turbocharge, it's gotten drastically slower. So Motorola, go back to what you used to do. Samsung, LG, step it up. Qualcomm, step it up. Alright, so that pretty much does it for my review of the Pasonomi Quick Charge 3.0 charger, the Samsung Adaptive Quick Charge 3.0 charger, and the quick comparison between the OEM LG fast charger and the adaptive fast charger, the Quick Charge 3.0 charger, and the Moto X Pure Edition. The Moto turbocharger. Keep mixing up my words today. Sorry, guys. So, now, I know some of y'all be like, well, this is not really important, but it was important to me, and I know there's a few people out there that might find these stats and performance numbers useful. And again, as I said earlier in the video, it's always good to have more than one charger and cable. Maybe you want to leave this one at your house. Maybe you want to put this one in your bag. Keep that one in the car. So on and so forth. This way, when you need to charge, it's always there. If not, you can always use other alternatives like carrying around a power bank or what have you. So it's always good to have multiple cables and chargers. So even again, if you don't agree with some of the stuff that I said in this video, we could all agree that it's always good to have more than one charger. This way you're not lugging around the same cable, and then if it breaks, you're not out of luck because you got other ones you can use. So again, if you guys and gals found this video helpful, please help your boy out and give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you want to see more raw, uncut content like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you get notified when I post new videos. If this video has piqued your interest in any manner and you're interested in picking up any other things you see here, all links to where to purchase these chargers will be down below in the video description. So you'll be able to pick these guys up at some really, really good prices. And as always, guys and gals, if y'all know anyone out there looking for some high quality, affordable devices and products at some really great prices, please share with them my channel, because I'm doing this for everyone because we all deserve the best. Alright, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will catch you guys and gals in my next video. Let's get them close-ups of the stats here. See if I can get that to focus. That's a no-go. Trying to do this quick. That's also a no-go. Nope, epic fail. That one came out good. Alright, have a good one, everybody. I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.